Okay. Welcome, Internet. This is the episode one, the inaugural episode of the Survivor Buffs podcast. Let me just adjust my camera there a little bit. My name's Dave. This is my sister Jess and my brother Drew. We decided to start with season 23 for episode one of our new podcast. So I don't know exactly why we should have just gone episode one, but we like this season.
Oh, you mean like season one, episode one?
Yeah, you think it's just a random season to start at, but
It's
a good one.
No, I don't know. Yeah,
that's fair.
It's hard to watch.
So yeah, leave a like if you like what we talk about, or don't leave a like anyway. So it really helps us out. If you disagree with any of Drew's comments specifically, you can leave a comment down below. So I guess I'll start this how I've done it in the past. Overall opinions of the episode. Anything kind of stand out?
I forgot about Coach and Ozzy. It was fun to see them again. I didn't realize they were in this, and it was just fun to see their faces again. I'm excited for this season, honestly.
Oh,
and Sophie and Dawn.
Yeah. It was one of those ones where because everyone's seen all the episodes. Like I've already watched this season already.
Mm-hmm.
I always this is every now and then I come across a season where I'm like, wait, who does win this one? Right? And I'm like, I recognize so many people, and I'm like, wait, no, who does win this? I can't remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was a little taken back when I watched this because I was like, I don't think that person won. There's just it allows me to be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have an idea, but I don't know for sure.
Right.
So.
Yeah, well, I definitely don't know because I haven't seen this season before, but I relate to what you're talking about. When I rewatched season 7, and I first saw Rupert again, I was like, oh, it was Rupert. Rupert's totally cool. He won, right? And it was like, no. So I get what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
This season was interesting because I watched some Survivor early seasons, and then I didn't get back into it until we started doing this together, right? And I started with either season 30 or 31, where Dawn and Cochran both come back. So for me, I've never seen. This is Cochran's first season that he's played, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot it's a lot interesting to see him from another angle, and
how he introduces himself and
how he carries himself.
How self-deprecating he is. It's so painful to watch him. Poor guy.
It's cringy.
It's a little bit, but I'm a big magic card nerd, so no shame to anybody, but he definitely feels a little bit like comic book shop personality number 4 sometimes.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Like maybe his girlfriend's there wearing an elven headdress, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still pretty awesome though. I do find him funny. I was rewatching it this morning, and my girlfriend's kind of oh, with that, when he does the run into the water, and I'm like,
well, yeah.
Part of what it is with Cochran is I can relate because I was really nerdy and awkward when I was younger, and still am to a large degree. So I'm like, dude, sometimes that's all you can do is lean into your awkwardness and try and make it funny instead of just being unremarkable. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I get it. Anyways.
Well, I guess, may as well start off where it begins. The first impressions of some of the people, because it talks about all the tribe people before the helicopter lands.
Right. Yeah. I was excited about Brandon.
Oh, really?
Russell Hanson's nephew. I thought that was a fun. I totally forgot about that too.
How does he think he's gonna go far and not take off his shirt?
I know he's got 2 tattoos with his name.
Yeah. But he's gonna keep that under wraps real easy. No way.
It's no way I'm gonna tell them my name. Also, I have it written all over my body.
Or something. Couldn't you get a temporary? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. Some kind of a henna or something, right? And just overdo.
Do you think he should hide it? What would be the disadvantage? Just going, yeah, I'm his nephew, but I'm the good one.
That's the thing. If he acknowledged it and then just fully played into he's not like that and thinks his uncle's a jerk or something, maybe that'd be okay. But I think Russell was so present at that time. Like that was probably
Yeah.
fresh up one of his seasons, maybe a couple seasons before that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
people were
Yeah, I
probably
can't
aware.
remember his last season. I thought was Heroes versus Villains.
Well, I think Brandon describes it a little bit later on in the episode as like being Hitler's nephew. You're not going to show up.
Yeah, in this moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is his first thing about it.
And this isn't the first season I've seen Brandon in. The first season I saw Brandon in was in the 30s.
Mhm.
And
Oh, he comes back? I didn't even know that.
oh yeah,
Brandon comes back.
Yeah, he comes back and he dumps the rice, and I can't stand people like that. I'm just like, as soon as he dumped the rice, I'm like, you have no value as a human being. You're gonna throw that kind of a temper tantrum, and you're gonna take away other people's comfort just because you can, despite because that was the whole thing. He's like, well, I'm gonna get myself voted out. I'm the master of my destiny, kind of thing. And I'm just like, dude, like, you know, it's like basically pulling an Austin, but by having a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Same
Right.
thing.
There's a lot of people that have dumped out some rice.
It's cold.
I can think of at least 3 or 4.
It's cold, man. It's cold.
It's cold-blooded. So, I mean, yeah, they talk about everyone. There's a couple people I like. I did forget about Brandon when I rewatched this.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn, I'm a big Dawn fan.
Yeah? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've got to know about, like, I do remember her, but I don't remember liking her. So
Really?
far, I think she's kind of giving me Lil vibes. So it's not going well.
Okay.
Girls right now.
So
She's got to get it together.
I haven't seen this season ever before, but from how she characterized herself, like in her own self-assessment, when I saw her later on with Cochran again, she was like, "Oh no, wait, I'm thinking of somebody else. No, I'm totally thinking of somebody else. Never mind."
Oh,
Okay.
I was thinking, what was her name? Cass, and they called her Chaos Cass, and wasn't she?
That's
She
right,
was like,
Brain Tribe.
right, yeah. So okay, I'm getting Cass and Dawn mixed up. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Yeah. Dawn,
Yeah.
she has like,
different.
yeah, she's got mom vibes for sure. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But like in
there's also-
denial about it a little bit.
I remember
Yeah.
liking Big Papa. Or Papa Bear, they call him?
Papa Bear.
Big
Big Papa. That's not right.
Close enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
My first note I had, and it was, you guys will laugh when I say it, but after they walk away, the first, I think it's well, I don't know, 15 minutes in. That's got to be after the first challenge, right?
Yeah, that's definitely after the first challenge. So the helicopter lands, and well, both of them. A tale of 2 different returning players. Like Ozzy gets off the helicopter, runs. Everyone's like, "Woo, Ozzy!" Coach gets off the helicopter, and slowly walks, and he gets 0 applause.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, he didn't seem to have any sort of pull. Like his tribe wasn't happy with getting him. It was like night and day with the 2 of them. It was like people were happy to see Ozzy, and people were just kind of indifferent with him. And he even said, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to like work some overtime these first few days, being extra nice, because like I don't get any kind of a reception."
Yeah, like that one chick. What'd she say? They're temporary players.
Temporary players was thrown around a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Now here's the thing: if you guys were on, like, who would you want to join your tribe? Would you want Ozzy to walk over to your mat, or would you rather Coach?
Well, probably Coach, because I think Ozzy would be able to beat me in challenges when it came down to it.
That's a good point.
And I feel like Coach is more easily pushed. I think Ozzy can be a rock in the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
You want someone you can get out of the way when you need to.
Ozzy's gonna be there post merge when you're worried about those challenges, anyways. Probably no matter what you do. Like,
yeah,
well, I've seen him before. Like, it's weird because he looks like a pothead in a metal band, but he's like, but he's
Bob Marley.
He's like athletic. He's nimble, like a like a gymnast in their early 20s sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Like he's scrambling under stuff like some of the later in this episode, but you see he's, even though he doesn't look like super cut, like he lives at the gym, he's very physically capable and like and he can fish and like, dude, I want to eat. I want to have some strength by the time we get post merge, and I really have
That's a good point.
Be in a position to take a player like that on. I think you would want to have those good players and like draft them like NASCAR style. Do you know what I mean?
Gotcha. And if you get coach on your tribe, you're just getting free yoga. That's pretty much what you get with him.
Having just come off watching season with you guys, I know it's not the topic, but a long run of losses early game is not, I'd really be looking to avoid that. It seems to me any momentum gained, like Jeff's always talking about, like, don't give anything up, like prizes and rewards and stuff. Like any momentum you can gain is good, right?
So I guess you want a winner. Yeah, so I could see that going for Ozzy then.
Hit the ground running, but.
How does everyone feel about the challenge? It was confusing as hell. I don't think I'd be able to figure that out.
It was mind bender.
Pyramid stacked between 3 tables.
Yeah, as Ozzy started picking it up, I was like, wait, what? How is he? What? I couldn't tell. And they were like, oh, move the middle one to the right, the little turtle on top. And I was like, what? This doesn't make sense. How are they?
Yeah.
I would be sitting there, like, I'd be out of this game so fast.
Yeah, you couldn't put a big piece on top of a little piece. That was your pretty much rule. It was weird.
Yeah.
I think, though, I know what you mean, too. Like, I looked at it and it hurt my brain trying to think about it. But I think if you had it in front of you, once you saw the pattern, once you kind of moved, like, one piece all the way over, you'd be like, oh, you still have missteps and screw stuff up. But it was a good challenge that way. But, yeah.
I like that one.
How'd you feel about that, like, Jeff picking those two to do it and just immediately putting the pressure on them to, like, prove themselves? He's like, show us your worth. It wasn't like a tribe challenge.
But it ended up being that way.
Strategy. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It didn't seem to affect
Coach too much.
I mean, it seemed like a fair throwdown, so I didn't mind it, I guess.
I don't know.
I think I might have felt differently if I was in the tribe. Do you know what I mean? Like my whole, like what was it for? It was for Flint.
Flint and food? Some kind of food?
Nuts
or something?
Oh, shoot.
What they're called.
I actually have it written down here. Oh, shoot. I guess I didn't write it down.
So some kind of like alternative coconut.
Okay, sure.
Like that.
Like a plant, how a plantain's like an alternate banana kind of a thing. It's like an alternate coconut. Yeah,
that was my read, knowing nothing about it.
So one other tiny thing I forgot that I had written down here is how they decided which very, very good. But the way they told Coach and Ozzy which tribe they were on. It's like I guess an egg filled with ink, and so Ozzy goes over his chest, and Coach just holds it in his hand, like doesn't want to get any on him. He's like, "This is a nice
his sweet suit." Oh my god!
Yeah,
an embroidered jacket,
dude.
Yeah,
okay.
What a choice.
It's Dennis Miller in the '90s has been gone for a long time. Sports coat with jeans, it's not a thing.
No.
Yeah.
See, and that's a thing where I wonder, because remember how this last season we watched, they weren't told that they were going to go to the island, and so they were stuck in those outfits.
Yeah.
So these people chose those outfits that they're wearing.
Right.
It would appear
There's
so.
multiple men wearing suits. Like
I know. Yeah.
They just want to come across a certain way, make a good first impression.
Obviously, that's got to be it. But it's like, what's the logic? I was thinking to myself, like, and I'm looking at like when they're gonna go swimming, right? And like, I don't know, like I don't know what her name is. She's a blonde woman. She had like really frilly sort of underwear. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like in my mind, I'm like, if I was a chick, I might wear like a legit bathing suit under my shit, so then I could like. Because it's like, it's like a nicer material. It feels like, I feel like I wouldn't wear thin underwear as a dude too. I'd probably try and like, I don't know, man, wear like, well, I don't know. You wouldn't want to chafe like Rupert, but I wouldn't want thin underwear that was just gonna get like stretchier and stretchier over the whole time, and then like,
Yeah.
and then Andrew,
Yeah,
and then
well, you'll be
Andrew's
losing
taking
weight.
off his, and then Andrew's taking off his pants with me as we're trying to push a cannon around because my pants.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I would wear, like I might, as a dude, maybe I get like a Speedo or something and just rock that under. I don't know.
I know, it's interesting.
I would just like, what would you want to live in for 40 days? Like, what would you wear?
My leggings.
Okay.
Leggings are
Yeah.
so versatile.
But
And like a sweater? I don't know. and a
I am
bathing suit.
curious. I'm curious how much they really get told, because that has to be a bit surprising, right? They couldn't have all chosen that. That has to.
Right? That's what I
Come
wonder.
on.
They made a big deal of it last year, but I feel like they seem to do it every year.
Is there an element to the show where it's meant to be a surprise? Like you're a castaway and the boat capsized, and so they maybe purposely catch people off guard on a level so that they are maybe disadvantaged? Maybe that's
Yeah, that
part
could
of it.
be.
I don't know.
Makes sense.
Some seasons, I think Jeff references it, and then some seasons he doesn't. So I don't know if it's
Yeah.
always a thing and he's just stopped referencing it anymore, or if sometimes, maybe some people understand every time Survivor calls me out for anything, be ready. And maybe there's other people that just go, whatever. And that's how you get stuck wearing a bedazzled jacket on the beach, right? I don't know.
I feel like Coach wears that every day anyway. Obviously, his
Yeah.
staple
Job
piece of
interviews,
clothing. Yeah.
weddings.
His yoga classes.
Is he wearing like a ponytail at any point?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
it's very Steven
Okay.
Seagal, right?
Yeah, he's
Oh yeah.
a creature.
So my favorite thing at the end of the first challenge when they're walking away is Cochran says, he's like, now we don't have to hear, I've got nothing for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Cochran's a big fan of actually before the challenge. Does Cochran? That's the second challenge he talks about.
No, that was
he wanted to call Cochran instead of John. That was before.
First challenge.
Okay, then I completely missed that. We got to talk about that. I love that line.
Oh yeah, I think that's actually during the Aussie Coach Challenge, isn't it?
The next game. The next.
Oh, okay.
Is it? Is it the first challenge, like the reward challenge, basically?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, regardless.
Let me see.
But yeah, like all the great players, I just like to be like to be called by my last name. And then Jeff's like, oh, like think of yourself a pretty good player, and he's like, we'll see. And then he goes Cochran, and
yeah,
Cochran looks so happy.
Prove it, yeah. And Jeff looks happy too. He really likes Cochran.
Yeah,
he's so happy,
well,
and I know
he knows he wants to be there.
Yeah, he can tell he's fulfilling this kid's dream, right? And then when Ozzy like slaps Jeff with the handprint after the egg, and Jeff is so happy.
Yeah,
Did you see how happy
he got him to kind of break a bit.
Yeah,
Jeff was,
yeah, just the biggest grin.
After when he goes over to the mat, he really quickly just rubs it on Jeff a little bit to kind of go ha, and Jeff just laughs. It seems like he genuinely laughs though.
Yeah, no, definitely. I will say, kind of a controversial, awkward thing. What's with the whole "you woman in the front"? I was just like, "What? Like you don't even have a name tag on. You got a red shirt. You got no chance." Like you're telling me he doesn't know the lady's name, like the opening.
He does it later too. You guy in the back. What do you think of like Ozzy being on your team or whatever? I think that's how he addresses Cochran at first.
Part of me is like,
you guy in the back.
Like a military, like you there, lad, as like an informal kind of, I don't know.
Well, like you think he'd know their names?
I know, right? So I'm like, why wouldn't they just edit that out and retake that? Like you, woman in the front, well, or maybe it was like something they'd address them like this and see how they establish themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's possible.
I don't know. But I was just curious about that. I was like, what? And I thought it contrasted a lot from Call Me Cochran. Do you know what I mean? And, they got control over the editing and stuff. It just seemed weird. Anyways.
Fair enough. So you were mentioning they walk back to camp. And both tribes essentially just do the stand in a circle and say, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah.
So I guess let's start with, I guess they go to Aussies first. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot remember their names, but I can't remember the names of the tribes.
I know. I only know Semhar and Cochrane, and I guess Dom. But
I dislike Semhar. She annoyed me right from the beginning.
Well,
she's
yeah.
on.
It's the
she's on
overly
Aussie's
large,
tribe.
like, batting of the eyes that I'm just like, oh, dude, just chill your shit.
Oh, got Aussie fooled.
Oh no, he was totally like
Aussie's hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, I was like, I literally said I'm watching it with my girlfriend, and I was like, oh, he's falling for the magic.
That's what Rory said too.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, but I think if I was, on Survivor, I would be extra guarded about that. Do you know what I mean? I would just be like, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it wouldn't just be like that quickly. Oh, she's hot, sweet. Let's keep her around.
It used to be that way on Survivor a lot. There's a lot of coupling off like that before that got targeted quick.
Right.
I'm most interested in Jim, because we talked about this before, and he's saying that he's something he's not. Jim's the one that's a weed dispensary guy.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And he's saying so. I sort of when we started doing this, like I was like, yeah, why don't we just show up and play a role? And you guys like, nah, that's not a thing. So I'm curious to see how this actually turns out. If this is like why you guys that's not a thing or what it is. But I get why. Like if I was like a poker player, like a successful poker player, I would not mention that playing Survivor at all, because that game is all about playing people, right? I wouldn't bring it up, man. I'd be like the pro baseball guy. It's like, yeah, I don't I recognize you, bro. No, it's not me.
Yeah, not me. What does he say he is? What does Jim say he is? I think he says he's a teacher.
A forensic sciences teacher.
That's right.
Yeah, not just science teacher. He's a fancy science teacher that teaches forensics in high school, like a locally developed course, which could happen. When I was in high school, I took a course that was like on electrical, and we did like house wiring and stuff. It was like a shop class, but it was only at our school, so they can have that, but it's very suspicious. Like that's not common. I'd be like, really, a forensic science teacher?
Does he just think if he goes into the detail, people won't question about it?
Well,
right? Because I feel like he said science and then was like, "Ooh, people might call on me to like be extra smart, so I'm just going to say it's something even smarter than that, hoping just no one calls him out."
Very specific.
What if somebody asked me about the periodic table?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly, right? So now we can just be like blood spatter, yada yada, evidence, and they'll be like, oh, "Okay, never mind. We won't ask you anymore about your job."
I would say Mark's one of my favorite players. I don't know why. I like that he's a gay cop.
That guy.
Yeah.
No.
I know.
I hope I'm that handsome when I get that silver. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, it was weird to see like somebody addressing it like that.
My first hit off him, I'm like, I like you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I thought it was just weird because I forget, what year did this come out?
I am just double checking that right now.
Yeah, it was just so odd to have somebody like addressing coming out like that. Like that just doesn't really happen as often now. You just don't need to address it either way as much,
There's like it feels like
January 2011
guy every other season.
Yeah, no, but they're not always just the way he said it. Like it I just feel like we've come a long way, and it kind of showed in that.
Sure. Oh, definitely. Oh,
intro,
dude,
yeah.
Some of the stuff people say is like totally like Jim, the weed guy. I'm just gonna call him the weed guy, I think. And he was like, "Oh yeah, we got 3 hot girls in our tribe. It's bikini time." I'm like, I looked at Ember. I'm like, yeah, you can't say that now. That's not. It's like, whoa, this feels really dated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely something they added. Well, I've like, what was the episode last season? But they definitely had to get a shot of Dara from behind while she's using the shower, perfectly
Yeah.
framed that she looks as naked as possible you can show on
Yeah.
primetime TV. Like
Yeah.
the only person they did that with, they didn't get a shot of Sandra doing it. Like, so yeah, it's definitely, and that was even older. But yeah,
It's true.
the stuff they needed to put in the commercials for the next week's episode was just,
well, so
you got to do it to get those clicks or those watches.
While we're on this topic, I think I have a relevant thing. So they're making the shelter, and it's just because I hate Brandon. But I can't remember the woman's name, but she's like working on the shelter. Do you know what I mean? She's working. Mm-hmm. She's doing something. You know, she wasn't really like she was average beach clothes, like for playing Survivor. Yeah. Didn't feel like I felt like Semhar was way more kind of like trying to lean into that. And anyways, and Brandon's like, you know, wrote down, yeah, I don't feel comfortable around Michaela. It's the way that she carries herself. Do you know what I mean? She's attractive. She has respect for herself. I'm intimidated. I don't have a lot of self-esteem. I'm at a little bit, but it's just so painful. Do you know? And he's like, well, I'm a married man. Do you know? Like, she shouldn't be tempting me. It's like the stuff that rapists say. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, you like it's.
And then did you see all the shots of him like creeping on her from like the little clips they threw in of him just like hiding in the bushes, like
watching her and in the background, just
such a creep,
staring right at her. Ridiculous.
I'm like, oh, dude,
not okay.
Yeah, and I was just like, that made it feel really dated too, and just reinforced that he's someone I love to hate.
She shouldn't be tempting me. That's ridiculous.
I don't even with this kid. I don't know that I love to hate him. I just don't hate him. I don't like him. He's not fun so far. I'm already so bothered by him.
Oh,
very off-putting indeed. Yes,
I guess that's what I mean. Like, it's not like an entertainment. It's just like he's so over the top. You just have to like. It's like, I don't know. It's like being for or against Trump. You clearly come down on one side.
Yeah. That's true.
Fair enough. So I guess we're back. The other tribe I thought was interesting. Coach's tribe. Yeah. They all stand around in a circle and say what they're doing. See, do I have anything written down from that? Didn't seem like there was a whole lot. I think I like Ozzy's tribe a lot more. I think that is 100% true.
This is where Coach like tells everyone not to look at him as a threat. He's like standing around saying like, don't worry about me, guys. Don't worry about me. I'm not a threat. I'm not strategic at all. Like, just let's all have fun. Like, and it's like,
this is only my third time out here. I'm just here to, play around. And it's like, come on, buddy.
So stupid. And everyone's just looking at him like, you idiot.
I think sometimes you can like just kind of put ideas like into people's heads. Sometimes you just, you say it and then someone's like, oh, I don't know. Like, I know that people don't necessarily, they look at it with suspicion, but I still think just throwing the words out there sometimes, I don't know. I think it was Coach's tribe where they have like the nighttime talk, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They form these little 5 lines.
I didn't have a lot written down for Coach's tribe when they're sitting around all having the talk. My notes go straight back to Ozzy's tribe. When and I'll get the names of them when they decide to go in the water. So that was Savai. That's the team. That's the tribe. Savai and Upalu.
Upalu, right?
Yeah, but Savai decided to go jumping in the water, and Cochrane is going to everyone that will listen. Are we really doing this? Are we going in the water? Really? Like, shirtless and everything? We don't have to do this, though, right? We don't. Like, do we have to? Like, he shows him talking to 4 different people. Yeah, you're going into.
Yeah.
But he's like, what? You're not? He's like, well, obviously you would. You know what I mean? Oh, his run into the water. I absolutely loved it. That run with his arms in the air as he's frolicking into the water is fantastic.
Yeah,
If you get a
that was
chance to
him.
go back and watch it, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's one of my notes too. I love it. Yeah, even
I think
Cochran
that
says there's a bevy of beautiful bikini babes. Like,
Did he say
Yeah.
that?
yeah, he
he
did.
did.
Wow.
Yeah. Just
Yeah. I mean,
real nice alliteration, but not for me.
He gets more mature when it was like the other season
Yeah.
that he's in. He's like, it's not the worst thing to play Survivor with girls in their underwear. Which, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah,
that's fair.
I mean, would it?
Now that you mention it, a lot of characters referenced, didn't they? Wow.
A lot of which?
Yeah.
A lot of characters referenced just beautiful girls in bikinis around. There was like, I think, there's a lot of people that talked about it. Okay.
Oh, sure. Well,
I did not realize that until you guys mentioned it.
I think that's just men and women. I mean, like, I don't think Jess would be upset if she had to play Survivor with like John. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Who?
John?
Who's John? Is he on this?
No.
season?
No, we're talking Malcolm. Maybe.
Oh, Malcolm.
No.
I thought it would be Malcolm. Yeah.
John, he was on Ponderosa, taller than Malcolm, dark hair. The one that Andrew Savage's girls idolize, and he's sitting there beside him, and he's like, "Yeah, we were watching an old season of you," and my daughter's like, "Oh my god, he's so hot." Oh, Joe, not John, Joe.
Joe, there we go. Yeah, okay.
Right?
Joe and Malcolm Ozzy, they're all essentially the same person.
Well, no, Joe's. No,
I don't like Joe. No, Joe's not.
Really?
No.
Really? Okay.
I don't like his facial hair. It looks like a pirate. Pirate facial hair does not do it for me.
Okay, sure.
Like too
wispy, like it reminds you like Johnny Depp's facial hair a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he does look like a pirate.
I'm just saying that there's attractive men that if you like, that's the thing. Like, I think women just have more composure about like saying about that. Men crack too easily. You enjoy the experience. You don't make a point of it and act like an idiot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't tell me that the women on Survivor don't appreciate some eye candy. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously they do.
But guys are dumb and they're like, "Oh, this is really fun, guys." And
there was just no lines of any woman commenting at all. It's not a lot of like
male eye candy going on there.
Yeah, exactly, right.
So no attractive men this season. Is that what you're throwing out there, basically?
I'm not seeing it yet. It'll probably come, but I'm a personality gal.
That's fair.
That's right. Fair enough. Okay.
That's fair.
So then what do they do next? Oh, I guess it's the night conversation next.
Right.
Okay, so So this reminds me of like late night like drunken adolescent gatherings, like at a party and just sitting around the end, and I'd be like, "Man, you guys are the coolest people at this party today. You guys are the best. We're totally friends, man. You guys are awesome. Man, for real."
Yeah.
Like, but they're just they want to set an alliance, but I get but it feels a little forced. Like, "Oh yeah, man, I think you guys are all super cool too." Yeah, well, I think you guys are all super cool too.
Yeah. I think no matter.
You guys down to fucking set up a little coup here or what?
Just it's a lot of coach being like, final 5, like this is how you do it. Alliance day 1, you can't argue it, and they're all just kind of nodding along. So I still don't know. So? No one really. They were all just kind of like, yeah.
They have an alliance with Coach now. Yeah.
I don't know if they really.
I didn't get a sense of disbelief, but maybe that's my naivety. But
yeah.
I mean, I think no matter who was sitting there, Coach would have forced that alliance, no matter who.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Like I don't think he has the awareness to go, "We are all friends now." He's like, "Oh, there's 5 of us, and we are all sitting here. I can talk to them all at once." It almost seemed like it was out of laziness instead of doing the footwork, you know?
No, not at all. You listen because he has like a little talking head about it, and he's like, "This is kind of the only chance where we're all going to be together, and we can sort of sit and talk about this right away, where people don't have their minds made up yet. There's no conflicts really happen. It's early, and I just want to take the opportunity to be like, hey, do you guys want to stick together?" It seems sort of smart to me, but I don't know. Like,
well, I don't know. I feel like it has to be a little bit more than just 5 people. I think you do need to make sure you don't have somebody like this in your group or that in your group.
Yeah, you need a bond, right?
Just going. I don't know. I've seen people flip too many times that I think people should put more thought into who they trust with information. And Coach just said it to the first 5 people, first 4 people.
Some crews keep the loose cannon and drag them around like a Shamar or an Abby, where people are just like, yeah, this person's pretty fucked up, and they let them they let them cause drama early on because it's less likely that they're gonna, be the target of the Russian roulette of the damage, right? And then the longer it seems to go on, the more they're like, yeah, man, this person's really unpredictable, and like end game, we just can't have somebody being unpredictable. We're talking like Final 5, like, no, man. It worked for a while, but not anymore. It seems like that's, I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like bring a crazy person with you to the end is the way to go now. So you get to the final 2 and just be like, I'm better than that guy, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, like later seasons, is it kind of like that?
Well, I guess they did that in early. It used to be. Well, I guess there's always a goat every season or 2 where it's just they did nothing the whole time, but I brought them with me. But
it's getting less respectable to go to the end with that goat though now. So I find the game is starting to shift into bringing your competitor, like your actual.
Oh, really? Just go on best of the best. Let's see who wins.
I find that with the jury, no, they're starting to like.
Oh, the jury's starting to get better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The jury's starting to respect game.
Yeah.
Instead of just being bitter jerks.
Just got hurt about getting voted out.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that. But the list of like I know Drew was saying, what's the term? Drag the dead weight around.
Yeah.
That's a long list. There's a lot of people on that list. Philip. Jeez.
So where did they?
Anyway.
They went to the challenge next.
Pretty much. Or I think Dawn has her freak out.
Oh right, flipping
That's not
Dawn.
a freak out.
It's a freak out.
It's not really a freak out. It's like a sign of weakness.
She literally said she's breaking down.
They too.
Okay. I've seen worse freakouts. It doesn't register on my Richter scale, so maybe I've.
No, but that's what she calls it. That's how everyone kind of looks at it.
Yeah, it's just a little breakdown, and and it's day 2. And she's addressing it. She's like, this is I can't be weak like this. I don't want to show this. Like, this isn't good. And it's like, all right, well then
She actually said there's nothing about this life that has anything to do with my previous life. Like my life back at home. Like nothing there has prepared me for what I'm doing here.
Yeah,
none of those skills are transferable.
Yeah.
So my note said this at 33:08. The way Dawn is crying. Ask Jess if she could work that magic. Do you think like if you played, you could like play a little like on the sympathies and heartstrings of people? I feel like you could work some people like that. I don't know.
I might be able to, but then I think about it and I wouldn't be playing it. It would be legitimate. I would be breaking down out there. It wouldn't be an intentional game move. I give it 48 hours. I don't know that I'd make it as far as Dawn did. And I would be in tears begging for someone to save me.
Everyone always thinks of themselves as a Boston Rob or an Aussie or maybe even just average. And then I see other people and I'm like, no, I'm a Cochrane. I'm a Cochrane for sure.
Yeah.
except I'm probably worse because I don't even have a cool like last name to tell Jeff to call me by. It'd just be Dave. Call me Hit, Jeff. Dave Hit. No, that'd be stupid.
Nah, you need like
my cat's wanting to be pet.
Need to like lengthen and make a nickname be like the Hitman.
Well, that's been done.
Has it?
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Well, not in Survivor, technically.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
I guess. Wow, somebody used it once, so never again.
Never again. Well, in Canada, Bret the Hitman Hart is essentially royalty.
Yeah.
And for everyone watching, we are in Canada, so he's up there with like the Queen and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pretty close.
Wait,
close.
he's up there with the Queen.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'd put
Brian
him above
Adams, Celine Dion, something like that.
The Governor General, yeah.
I hate Brian Adams.
Yeah. So I believe it goes into that next challenge.
You hate Brian Adams?
I like this.
It's unnecessary.
I know, I'm sorry. That's why I whispered it. I didn't want to start something.
Comments down below. You heard that. Okay.
It's only the soundtrack to my love life, my teenage years a couple times. It's okay. It's not a big deal.
Oh,
gotcha.
Sorry for you.
I'm kidding.
Challenge. I'm just gonna go.
No, go for the challenge. All I have to say is stuff at the end of the challenge. So go.
Okay, this is the first time I've seen before a challenge them really actually go through the strategy. Jeff always says, "Give you a minute to strategize, and then we'll get going." And the camera cuts to survivors ready, go. So this is the first time where it actually showed like 2 minutes of them all sitting. Okay, who's doing this? Okay, I'm good at this. Coach is like, when we're going over that wall, this is how we need to attack that wall. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize how much they talk about it. They just never showed that before.
I've seen other seasons where they do that. I think there's some other seasons. I feel like it's there's a Culpepper season where they were doing a challenge. And someone was like, I'm really good at this. And they're like, I want this portion of the challenge. And then they fail at it. And then they try and blame him. So I've seen it before, but I do like when they do that. But I think, I don't know.
Fair enough. Anything else? You said it's all after the challenge?
Well, the end of this, I really dislike Michaela. And I'm like, being a construction worker, I'm like, dude, you could have thrown more coconuts in the time it took you to complain about it. Just shut up. Just shut up, bro.
Yeah.
Just go. And then complained about it, and I'm just like, oh, so painful. So that was how I felt about that. Like Johnny
and
Johnny and Sean, or Johnny and Burton or something, right? When they're talking about rating, and Johnny's just like, man, in the time it takes you to whine about it, we could just do it. And I'm that kind of personality. So I feel like Michaela did lose it for them. My opinion.
Well, yeah, fair enough. I guess the only real notable moments, because it comes back to haunt some people at the end, is the wall. Cochran. Who was it that just got pulled up all as one person and just dumped on it? No, that was like Dawn or Samhar. One of the girls just got pulled up by like two guys and just put on the ground.
Oh, right.
The one thing I was surprised at, like, I would have gone, like, there was at one point they had two people on the wall on the top, and they just grabbed a person, like one arm each, and like hoisted them up. And I was wondering, like, why either team didn't actually do that, where they just, okay, we're going to go up, we'll pull everybody up, you get everybody up, and then the last two people, like, that would be the fastest, right? Just do an assembly line. And I saw them do it. I'm like, oh, dude, that would have been mint if I had done that from the start. But
I think Coach suggested it while he was in the little huddle, but easier said than done. Sometimes the challenge, once Jeff says go, it's a little bit like herding cats. They just go.
You got people like Brandon that might be trying to throw a wrench in there, or people might be trying to like look better during that. I wonder if that's a thing, like people try and look a certain way, right? Because it's all about how your teammates think of you after the challenge. Like
if you don't help people over the wall, then there's definitely no possibility of you screwing that up and looking bad. So maybe being invisible is just a strategy going forward for a lot of people, and they'd rather just float through a challenge without looking bad or good, instead of taking those sink or swim moments. If Cochran goes to help someone over the wall with like Ozzy, and he screws up, he looks horrible, whether he's just watching Ozzy and Papa Bear do it.
Sure.
Just so it doesn't give you an opportunity to look good, but it doesn't let you look bad. Oh, Arnold, what are you doing? Jesus Christ, Arnold. Sorry about that. Earthquake. You just jumped up there out of nowhere.
I feel like though you can still be a team player. Like if you recognize that you're not like a helper bee, you're you're a sniper instead of a defensive defenseman. Let's say, Dave, right? You go for the role of like, yeah, help me up and over. We're gonna get this, and then maybe you're on the other side helping people land so they don't mess up their ankle or something, right? And then you're on like you can still be a team player even though you're not playing a certain role, but
yeah,
I guess you don't want to be ever viewed as disposable though in Survivor, right?
Well, it's just the hero or a goat moment, and some people would be like, I'll just avoid both.
Yeah. So what happens after the challenge?
Well, I mean, yeah, we already did talk about the horrible coconut throwing stuff. Like
my note says White Sox
ridiculous.
poet loses challenge crying.
Yeah, she throws 2 and she's like, "Oh, I'm so tired."
oh wait, okay, and then okay. There's
Can I
talk
switch?
about it after amongst their tribe, and I really like this. It was Weed Guy. What's Weed Guy? Jim's like, yeah, I feel sort of bad when I'm out of milk. This sucks. And I was like,
that's right,
dude. At least he said
I love that line.
I feel sort of bad. No, this is you are not reacting proportionately, and I thought
yeah,
that was
yeah.
I was like, I feel sort of bad, Jeff. No, I feel sort of bad when I'm out of milk. I love that line.
Oh, and then I was gonna ask too, also, because this is right after the timeline, but also, why is there a clue for the idol only at one camp? Like,
well,
it was weird that they got that as well as part of the the winning the challenge. Like, that makes sense. Never mind. Because I'm thinking about it. Because sometimes they give that out as a reward. I remember. What was the one? Was it Culpepper was in it? Him and his wife, him and Monica. So I think it was fans versus favorites. And everybody burned the idol clue like for the first however many wins. So now in retrospect, when I'm like, why did only one clue or one crew, like one tribe, get a clue? Well, it's because they won, and so that was part of the reward. But
right.
But is there one at both camps? Jeff's just only told them about one, or
exactly.
No.
is there only one at one camp? You think? Because I think there's one at both.
The clue, like when they're looking around for things, like, oh, I found a clue, without knowing who's there, right? They're always just around.
It's not like they knew who was going to win that challenge beforehand, so there's definitely
right.
But this is, which is weird because this is post Russell, and no one's just going out and finding it. This is still.
Well, what's her face went looking on.
No one looking, yeah.
Tribe. She was out there.
Yeah.
And she said to camera, "Yeah, I've definitely probably walked past it." Like.
And then camera zooms in on the.
And
tree
the camera does the. Zooms right at it. Yeah.
Next episode.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that being a derpy.
Yeah. Yeah, she's literally like, yeah, I've been looking. I probably walked right by it. And the camera watches her walk away and doesn't even turn and just zooms in at the tree trunk, like right there.
Had she just spun to look at him, she'd see him looking at it. It's so funny.
I wonder if that happens. I remember thinking that when I saw that. I'm like, why not just watch the camera guys? Like, how do they get those shots when they know no one's looking?
Like,
when they literally point at something?
The camera and be like, where are you looking, buddy? There?
Yeah. Exactly, right?
Go on.
Or do you think he's getting like some sort of nature shot before the next scene about ants or something like that, right? Is that a way you would think out there? I'm not sure.
Here's the other thing. Is there more than
they do it a lot.
Yeah, there's
I've looked it up. There is one camera per survivor.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude.
Just all over the place.
Yeah.
Your job is to follow that person around, get as much content out of that person as you can,
That's crazy.
If they're at a conversation with someone else, then you and the other camera person are just working two different angles. You just got to coordinate that on the fly, but there's one cameraman for every person.
That many camera crew, and you rarely see it.
Yeah.
They rarely show them on the beach with the survivors. They're always hanging back in such a way that they don't get each other in the shot, and crazy.
That must take like training, but yeah, I remember reading that a couple weeks ago, and I was like,
going to say they must be practiced that and doing it for a while, like little camera ninjas.
Yeah.
They probably have like lunch breaks and points where some people aren't being covered, but they're like, they're all doing this, so I'll handle it. You guys go do, there's got to be little moments like that, but
sure.
But yeah,
maybe
that's what I
a
read,
little
one
like
camera per
ninja
person.
test.
Yeah, which it is surprising they don't get anybody in the shot, but good editing. When you think about it, you're getting 3 days of content whittled down to about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I know. It's true. You miss so much.
Yeah.
I'd love to see like a full-on uncensored, like no holds barred, no cuts, like.
I can't remember which reunion episode it was, but they showed some sort of conversation two survivors were having. I can't remember, from like an all-star season. And during the reunion episode, they're like, yeah, so this player was accused of this or something. We're going to play out the whole conversation. And he reminds the audience, he's like, keep in mind, this might be a little dry because it's not edited. It's just going to be 8 minutes of people talking, and they eventually get to it. But we just wanted to show you how it happened. And then, it's just like a 5-6 minute conversation about how they want food. One of them mentions peanut butter sandwich. The other one's like, and it's a really dry, boring conversation. But they edit that stuff out.
But what was
you only see strategy talk?
Why did they delve?
I can't remember what the situation was. I want to say it was a player said something he shouldn't have or started a fight. I can't remember. But there is so much you don't see. So much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I would
love to see more
behind the scenes. Yeah, I would watch anything like.
Yeah.
That, like the Heroes fans favorites or whatever, the season with Joe, like the My Ponderosa thing, like the after, like their reaction right after Tribal Council, I thought was amazing. Like I would love to see that every season. Just see like what was on their mind, like, oh man, if I had a Justin, I was worried about this person, like to hear the recap of like what might have been racing through their brain as they were sitting at Tribal Council would be awesome.
Yeah.
Not that I'm ever like entertained by somebody being bummed out, because I'm not, but it's like an unfiltered talking head. It's like all the stuff of maybe the little things that were sort of wrapped up in their strategy. Now maybe you'd get some of that and be like, oh,
right.
And then to be able to take that knowledge and go back and watch like next episode next week.
Yeah.
Would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, because sometimes they come off and they're like, I talked to this person right before Tribal, and they told me to not worry about this, and it's like that wasn't shown in the episode, so you get why they did what they did later. Yeah, it's a pretty good little series. Yeah, exactly. So now we get back to, this is the Savai tribe, and there's two options. It's Cochrane's on the hot seat, and Semhar.
Yeah.
I completely forgot Ozzy did not respect Cochrane. He was just like, he's the worst one. He looks at him like a total nerd. Like, it's like, I forgot about that.
He calls him like Mr. Cochrane, and he's like, I don't know how he's going to do out here. Like, he doesn't really have anything to offer.
Yeah.
He's rude about it.
Yeah, he like bumbles. He's not athletic. It's like, oh.
Yeah, he just calls him out on all the things that Cochrane, and like, when he talks about it, I'm like, oh, nobody looks at you that way, Cochrane, settle down. And then Ozzy's like, I'm definitely looking at him that way. And it's just like, oh, you're a jerk. Like,
yeah. I thought the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I'd made more notes. At exactly 53 minutes, I wrote, I love Cochrane's monologue here.
You don't remember the monologue, though?
No. I don't know, 53 minutes. Like, are they at Tribal Council? Was this him speaking out and just, like, making a kind of a bit of a statement?
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, his name gets thrown around, so he decides to defend himself. Does a good job. You get other people laughing. Like he's got the gift of gab for sure.
Who, Cochran?
Yeah, yeah. When he was at Final Tribal trying to plead his case, it was very fun to see because he like really like. Hold on, I think I have it written down here. Oh yeah, when he talks about oh yeah, Semhar. So he said, I think it's pretty obvious why I'm voting for you. You questioned my intelligence, you questioned my commitment to this game, and you've made me question why I should be here any longer, so I can't take it. Yeah, Cochran versus Semhar. It was a nice little back and forth.
Yeah. Thank goodness she left.
Yeah.
I made a comment because they have a little thing of her like, after the vote out, right? And
yeah.
Like, just the victimness really bothered me. Like she's like, I don't understand how people can be so cold hearted. And then I don't know what this note means in hindsight, but I wrote sounds like John Hamm, and then I wrote 30 Rock in brackets. Oh, I think it was like I felt like she was a bit of a prettyit, kind of like John Hamm's character in 30 Rock, where like Tina Fey dates him. Yeah, prettyit. So like he's like he gets by on like being pretty. Like so okay. In the episode in like 30 Rock, right? They're dating, and he'll get weird concessions like from everyone, and they go to this restaurant and he orders like something like off the menu. Do you know what I mean? And she's like, you can do that. And he's like, oh yeah, that's just a normal thing. And people just fawn over him because of how hot he is, right? And then she takes him to this other restaurant and she like puts the menu up like in front of his face. Do you know what I mean? And just so she's like, order now. And he's like, what? You can't. And he like just has no attachment with reality because people treat him differently. And I feel like Semhar is that person where she's like, how can they be so mean? Why don't they like me? And it's like, because you can't get by just being hot on Survivor because that's just it's a try nothing fucking ploy. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I just like watching. No, I've never heard of Pretty.
Yeah, pretty idiot.
No.
I will Google that later.
It's a good one.
I don't know if it's a Google thing. It might be a thing me and my girlfriend made up. I don't know. It might be on Google. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, there you go. But yeah, Semhar goes home. I was very happy. For a brief second, I was like, "Oh my god, does Cochran go homeless?" Like, wait,
no.
One of those because people I've seen multiple times watching it so long, it's just still a little hazy. And wait, what? He goes home this early? That can't be right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, final thoughts, Jess. It's been a while since you've watched it. Do you have any picks?
Picks?
I won't say anything. I will not give any spoilers.
I feel like I remember, but I don't know. So I want to see more from the other tribe.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's just too
I
challenging.
like Cochran a lot. I don't like Dawn, but for some reason I think she's going to be around for a while, and I hate that.
She's got strong Lil vibes.
Yeah.
She does. Yeah.
Not into it. I'm not into it.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember who sticks around for a while.
No. Yeah, I'm having a hard time.
Or what's the other lady? The one that freaked out at Culpepper in 34. And she's like, man, she's like yelling along. It's like a.
I can't remember her name. Joanne.
Anyways.
Yeah, I can't remember.
What?
Just Dawn. She just has that like kind of. I mean.
Similar vibe.
She does have a drama vibe.
Then yeah, that'll pretty much do it for the review, I guess. If anyone has anything else. Okie dokie. Awesome. Then yeah, I'm Dave. That's my sister, and that's my brother. And we will be back here next week to talk about episode 2. I specifically don't watch those next time on Survivor things, so I don't get any. I want no spoilers. I go into it blind every time.
Oh, interesting.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Fun approach. Fun
Yeah.
approach.
That way I don't yeah. Because then I think I'll just jog too much of my memory. Anyway, I'm rambling.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Have a good day, everyone. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. That would be awesome. We will be back.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Bye.